guys, this is Coop from Garage Gym Reviews, and today we are reviewing a unique product that is new, somewhat new, however, it's based on a very old idea. These are the MonkeyFeet. I've used and tested them over the past 2 months or so in a variety of exercises, and today I want to show you kind of the unboxing experience because I have 2 of them. Also tell you what I think about them and compare them to something that's historical. Let's get into it. So MonkeyFeet, if you've been inundated by the Facebook ads like me and everybody else on the internet that has any sort of inkling of notion of interest into fitness, then you will have some idea what these are. But the original MonkeyFeet that these are based on are the York Iron Boots. York Iron Boots are one of those like somewhat gimmicky fad type piece of equipment that, although marketed by Bob Hoffman in a gimmicky way, because that's kind of how all fitness equipment started with the, you know, ads and Atlas ads and all these unique goofy ways of saying they'll make you bigger, stronger, and faster. In reality, they don't really do much of that. The Iron Boots were kind of a part of that era, and they were basically just a piece of iron with a hole in the middle that you were able to like slide a dumbbell through and then attach, you know, some sort of weights to, and then you could strap to your feet. They're very uncomfortable, they're very unwieldy. I've seen a pair, I put a pair on my feet. I've never used them with weight on them, but like I've seen them in person, and they're pretty much what you'd expect, a cast iron boot. This is a modern version, and I love strength history. I'm sure many of you guys that watch this do, so when I saw this, I was like, ah, what a unique idea, very cool. But after having them, I may have a different view. So let me kind of show you what you get in the box. So we're just gonna open this up, which by the way, Bob Hoffman was one of, if not the greatest fitness marketers of all time. As goofy as it was perfect for the time. And he brought York to astronomical levels, incredible levels. And you know, he led the fitness industry to where it is today, good or bad. They have, I wouldn't say they're a York level or a Bob Hoffman level. I will say their marketing from a fitness perspective, from my perspective, has been really good, including the box. Most fitness equipment does not come in nice branded boxes like this. Whether you like it or not, this is a good way to sell a product. So good job, MonkeyFeet, beyond just the box. Okay, so here's what you get in the box. It's got a nice like bag, you know, some instructions on how to put it on, some basic, you know, workouts you can do with it, and that's pretty much what we get. Now this bag is extremely cheap, but it is better than nothing. You know, I like that they added it, and it's also branded with the cool MonkeyFeet logo. And then inside, you have the MonkeyFeet, which, as you can tell, if you can't yet, this is essentially very similar to rollerblades. I don't know if any of you guys rollerblade today. Back in the day, back in my day, this may age me a bit, I rollerbladed a freaking ton.
I wanna be addicted to roller skating, not crap.
This is a similar fashion to like a ski boot or a roller skate. Before I get into the review, let me show you kind of how you put it on and like use it real quick. Okay, so the MonkeyFeet obviously folds up to be pretty compact. You could put this in a backpack or take it really anywhere because of how compact it is. To undo it, you kind of open up this strap collar here and then pull it apart. Now these, I have 2 of them. They're only one way. So they're not like anatomically correct for each foot or like different way. I would love if they were, but I don't think it really matters for most people, and most of you should just buy one. But you basically just put it on this way, whether it's your left or your right foot. So the way this works, you first take your dumbbell, I'll put it up here. You first take your dumbbell, you then scissor your MonkeyFeet so it's open. By the way, this holder right here can take up to like a 32mm dumbbell, so pretty much every dumbbell that's out there except for like a Watson 50mm, which really nobody has. Okay, you then put them on here, put your foot in. The foot does have some like rubber grip for it to stick to you. You then put this over the top and cinch it down. You then tighten it using like the little lever as tight as you want, as pretty comfortable, more than expected, and then you're ready to go. You now have however heavy dumbbell that you want to put on there attached very securely to your foot. And if it feels kind of unsecure, you can then tighten it a little bit more. I suggest wearing white tube socks Not black, not red, not yellow, white, because they look sick and they feel a little bit more comfortable. And now you can do various workouts that I'll show you here in just a little bit. So the MonkeyFeet are made of like a hard plastic, way better than the Iron Boot. These don't need to be weighted. The Iron Boot was already, I think itself, like 20 pounds or something, depending on the size. This is maybe 5 pounds, maybe less, like it's very light. However, I don't have any worry about it breaking because this is like a really hard nylon that's probably pretty, like, yeah, it can break, but it's gonna take a lot of force to break. And really you shouldn't be doing a ton of dynamic exercises with these anyways. And the only impact that's really gonna happen from this or from, you know, your foot hitting the ground is gonna be on the dumbbell, not this. So this I think is as strong as it could be or should be. One thing that I think is kind of cool is the only joint mechanism that's on here, and really the only part of the device that could have issues, is this joint right here. And so they used an aluminum bushing. It's anodized green, which looks pretty sick. There's nothing like, you know, holding this really tightly together. It's just kind of how it's pressed in there. So you could take this apart if you wanted to, if for whatever reason you had some sort of issue, but it's tight. I haven't noticed any sort of issue. It opens and closes really easily and works really well. There's foam here on the back, and it's not like it's very similar to like what you'd find on the GHD rollers on the Rogue Abram 2.0. So it's not like a foam, it's like something harder. It's more of like rubberized. Feels really good both on the back of your Achilles and also on your forefoot. And this forefoot part is a little bit softer. So this kind of points to them thinking about the details. They thought through the details, I think, more than most people would in this instance, because it's not only just attaches easily, but it's pretty comfortable when it's on. And then this attachment system is like you'd find on any roller hockey, you know, boot. It's easy to put on, easy to take off, easy to adjust tighter, and it just works. It's very simple. The device itself is very simple. So that's kind of where I'm at with this. The price at 75 bucks, I think is a little bit overpriced for what it is, but honestly, the amount of stuff you can do with it, I think for a home gym, I think this is a viable option. I think this is an option that could work for most people, because here's the thing, there is no other way that you can attach weight to your feet. You can use like string or bands or something like that. That's a very like methodical, lengthy process that also doesn't feel as tight, like not as secure, not as quick, you can't go as heavy. This is really your only option. So for I think that's something that like a lot of people could add to their training, is doing things with weight attached to your feet. Louis Simmons has talked about it for years, adding ankle weights, like walking around or adding the sled drags, just general GPP training, which is what most people should be doing to live longer, healthier lives. So because of that, being able to add something to your feet, I think is a great idea. Now, the amount of movements you can do with this is not unlimited, and it's not as nice as a machine. For instance, over here, this is a leg extension leg curl. Look at the amount of space it takes up, and it really only does 2 exercises. It does leg extensions and leg curls. That's pretty much all you can really do with this. And for most people, the price, and this one is a good price because it's plate loaded and it's from Titan. This is like 400 and something bucks. But this could really, I think for most people, replace the benefit that you'd get from that. And it do it in a little bit different way. So let me show you kind of some movements that I like doing with it and ones that I think it works for. Now, the first movement that I think is the most obvious is what that replaces over there, a leg extension or leg curl. Leg extension, there's various ways to set this up. Just sitting on a bench like this, I don't think is absolutely ideal, because a better way would be to lift your leg up a little bit higher so you get a little bit more tension. However, this could work too, very simple. And you can load these up incrementally. It's just up to how much dumbbell capacity you have. So once you have it here, all you do is straighten it out. Now this is lightweight at 15 pounds. As you get heavier, the tension builds and you can feel it more and more. Leg extensions aren't like the most beneficial, like, you know, movement to your knee anyways. I know they do cause some sort of shearing, whether that's bro science or a real thing or not. You know, I think that's to be debated. However, I do know that there's a lot of people out there that I respect that don't love leg extensions. However, I think leg extensions do pump a lot of blood to the knee area, and blood can be therapeutic and helpful, obviously. So I think doing high rep leg extensions is probably something that's missing from a lot of people's training in their home gym because they don't have access to a leg extension machine. So high rep single leg extensions is something that really you can only do with MonkeyFeet unless you have a leg extension machine. Example 1. Example 2 is a leg curl. So one example of a leg curl that you could do is a lying leg curl. So laying on some sort of bench and then lifting your leg up. The problem with this one is it's a little bit hard to get the range of motion because you're really not feeling tension all throughout. You're only feeling tension through the first part. A way to fix this is by using a band to pull the opposite direction, or another way that I actually prefer when I've been using this is to do an actual standing leg curl. I think a standing leg curl feels better with this, and you really don't need to go that heavy to actually feel it. This feels just as difficult and just as similar as a standing leg curl weight plate loaded machine. And it takes up no space at all, uses the weight you already have, and is only 75 freaking bucks. These are awesome. The other exercise I've been doing more and more is somewhat of like a hip lift. It's basically to strengthen your hip flexor. I got these from a guy named Knees Over Toes Guy. And I've been using them quite a bit just to strengthen my hip flexor. So basically you just stand on an elevated surface with your leg off and you just lift up your knee. Oftentimes I like to hold something like an upright or something, but just to show you kind of how it works, you're just standing on one leg and lifting up. Basically this is simulated sprinting. Another example that I've done quite a bit, and one reason I like to have two, is I'll attach two to my leg, I'll hang from a pull-up bar, and then I'll alternate each leg coming up. So it's basically simulated sprinting with weight attached to your legs. Not only is it great for the core and trunk, it's just like you feel it, it's also awesome for strengthening your hip flexors, which I know because we're always sitting, we're in compromised positions all the time. So it can help us basically strengthen that part of the system that honestly is weak in most people. So the Animal House MonkeyFeet, would I suggest these? Would you use them? You know, it's like most gym equipment. Would this improve your training? Is this something you would use? Would you use a leg extension? Would you use a leg curl? If you would use that in your gym, I think you should first get one of these, try it out, see how much you like it, and if you really like doing leg extensions and leg curls, maybe upgrade to a machine. But then you can use this for still ab work and things that you can't use that machine for. Or you can just use this only. Like, I don't really, other than that one, which I don't really use a ton, I don't do a ton of leg extension to leg curls, but I do quite a bit of leg lifts, and this is where this has come in, and I've been using it way more than I expected. So would I recommend it? Yeah, if you'd use it. And the price, like 75 bucks, I'm a fan. At first I was like, it's pretty gimmicky. You know, the marketing was everywhere. It's like, is this actually gonna be okay? I'm a fan. I think they did a great job with it. I think the price point is pretty good, and I'd recommend it. All right, this is Coop from Garage Gym Reviews. Thank you for watching. We will see you.